welcome to another edition of Homeboy Hotline. You're on the hotline with your friendly neighborhood homeboy Trey, and my God, y'all, we have a very special edition of the pod today. But before we get into all of that, how are y'all doing? Hope y'all are doing well. Hope you take care of yourselves and you're doing just fine. I know it's been a while since our last check-in, but we will get to that in later. As I said, today is a very special edition of the pod. It's the last day of Black Music Month, and I wanted to highlight an artist I've been following for a long time now, like maybe 12 years. Me and this guy go way back to our days at the illustrious Morgan State University, and today, 12 years later, we are still locked in. He's a singer, he's a rapper, he's a songwriter. And here's just a sample of what he sounds like.
I just want to know your name. No.
That boy good. Boy sound good, don't he? Well, look, that boy is joining us today. Please, homies, give a big warm welcome to the hotline to my brother, C.A.L. My brother, how you doing? Welcome, my guy.
Hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Hold on, let's get your round of applause here. There we go. Let's make it
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Man, I'm good, man. How you feeling, bro?
I am good. I can't complain, one day at a time.
Come on, you better speak of
You
old
know?
Negro spiritual today. I know that's right. One day at a time, indeed. Like I
One
was,
day at a time.
like I said in the intro, man, we go way back before we came on. You just reminded me you did a capstone interview where you interviewed me, and I forgot all about this. Oh my,
Yes.
damn, that's how long we
Yes.
go back. We were leaning on each other for interviews, and now here I am asking for an interview
Bruh,
today.
I ain't mad at it. Hey, look, this is part of the full circle moment. I'm not mad at it.
Full circle, full circle. I used to call this brother Calvin and the Chipmunks back at Morgan. You know, so I don't remember
Yo, that's
because Calvin would go around with the Elder Barge look. You know, back when I had my Questlove look, and we would crack with each other a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's
that's
okay.
crazy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll put some pictures. I will put some pictures up later. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes, they need to see. This was a very different time. You know, I was peeping. You got a little salt and pepper, brother.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
I was like, wait a minute. What is this? When did this man get some salt and pepper in the beard? I said, oh, wait a minute.
Working with white folks for the last 8 years of my life. That's what it will do to you. That's what it'll do. And also, of course, just going through the struggles of being Black. Amen.
Well, amen, Pastor. Amen.
Bro, I appreciate you for being here. I can tell we won't cut up today. So I always start these, our interviews off like asking our guests, obviously before we get into today about, your journey, etc. But just give us a little bit more about you, C.A.L. Who are you? Tell the people who you are, man.
Okay, yeah. I am, as you said before, I'm a singer, songwriter, and rapper out of Jersey City. I'm also a barber. I'm working on telling people that, even though that may not be what I'm, talking about today. But yes, I also be cutting hair and making sure everybody look good and all that good stuff. But I've been doing this now for over a decade, and it's been a journey, man. I've gotten to grace the stage with a lot of great legends, some from like much older genres or eras rather in music, and even some more contemporary. But the bottom line is it has been a fun journey, and I'm here to hopefully follow in the footsteps of a lot of our favorite artists. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm just pursuing the dream, working my magic, doing my shows, and putting out good music and hoping people enjoy it.
I don't want to skip over the fact that you said you work with some legends in your time, man. Like who are some people that you've been working with or have?
So you were there, but he was very much there. But I got to work with Howard Hewitt and Russell Tompkins of the Stylistics, as well as Gerald Alston of the Manhattans. So that was really cool. It's been interesting working with like groups like that. I've even so I've also done shows where I've been on the bill with people like the group Ray Goodman and Brown, also known as the Moments. So if
Mm-hmm.
anybody needs a point of reference for them, remember You Don't Know My Name. They
Mm-hmm.
were the ones that were doing the all the live when they basically they were doing the chorus for that record. So they did it as a sample, but whenever you look at Alicia Keys' live performance, it's three gentlemen, well, four, at the time, and they were all a part of the group Ray Goodman and Brown, or also known as the Moments. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been on the bill with them as well, and it's just been fun. It's just been really fun learning and stuff like that as I go through this process. So yeah, these are some of the people that I've gotten the chance to grace the stage before or after in the lineup, and it's been really worth it.
Now, obviously, you mentioned a name that you did mention. I think I recognize it very much. Gerald Austin. Can you tell everybody your connection to that brother and who he is? Yeah, who he is to you.
Oh man. Yeah, that is my dad. So there is that. That is my father.
I like how you just tried to just gloss over that earlier. Like, yeah, I've worked
I
with Gerald
mean,
Austin.
so
And,
here's the thing.
you
It's funny because I don't hide it, but I don't talk about it often
know.
for a reason that I do think is important to share, which
Yeah.
is merit, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people will assume more when you give that name, or a lot of times they will assume that you're not earning your place in a lot
Mhm.
of instances. So a lot of times, I'm like, yeah, that if people find out, okay, cool. But if they don't, also fine. And it's just because of that merit basis. I like to prove myself first before, you know, telling everybody that all the time. But yeah, that's me. That's how I got down, and that's how I do
So,
things from time to time.
so when did you like? I guess like learn that you could like you had this ability to sing and do music and do all these different things. I mean, was it just around the house like singing with your dad, or was it going like maybe on tour with them, or like what were those earlier experiences like when you were discovering yourself?
Funny enough, I I didn't.
Mm,
I've always so I started out writing, right? And it
mhm,
started out as a way of relieving stress, right? High school,
mm,
rough period in my life, right? So in that time frame, I'm just writing to get off emotions. And from there, it turned into freestyling and rapping, and it became more. And honestly, to keep the integrity of the story, I also want to I was introduced to the concept of rapping by a late friend of mine, Eric West, whose brother was, at
mhm.
the time, I think he was either on Def Jam or he was trying to get on Def Jam. Keep in mind, this is MySpace days. Okay. We're going back a little bit for the viewers. So this was MySpace days. Me and him were both in grade school. His brother was older than us, and I was introduced to it through him.
Mm,
I took that from what third, fourth grade, and I just kind of kept doing it for fun. Then by the
mm,
time high school rolls around, it becomes a thing of more of an emotional release. It goes just from being recreational to something that was sentimental to me because it helped me get through certain things. So that was the beginning of anything music related for me in terms of singing or rapping. It wasn't until high school, of all things, when I was on my way into college, that singing came up as an option. And it was more so at the time about expanding my portfolio, like diversifying what would go on my transcripts and your resume for college and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
it was an attempt to do that. And by the time I got to Morgan State, then I ran into other artists who took this very seriously, and they inspired me to be like, okay, maybe I can sing and do and write, and that's where it kind of started to blossom into what it is now. So it was a gradual process, but my dad's place in that, to be fair, was more so just knowing what good singing sounded like. So when I
Mm,
first started singing, I was very critical of myself because I like knew, oh, that's what it's supposed to sound like. And I didn't sound like that at the beginning, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep working at it, but I'm not going to really even advertise that I can sing until I get somewhat in that vein. And it took years, but I am proud to say your boy got skills now. You feel me? Just a little something every now and again, you know. But so that's how that came to be. It was a
Mm,
mixture of a late friend of mine, rest in peace to him, and just it stayed with me. It wasn't even like I chose it as my first option as far as singing, or even pursuing the career. It was just something that was around me from the friends I had and recreational use, and then all of those things. And then I
right.
got to college, and I was like, yeah, this might be something to really take serious.
Yeah, because I remember when I got to Morgan, I had kept seeing these little hashtags for like this music group that was going around, and I was like,
Oh, he's digging in the
"What?"
crates.
I
He's
am because
digging
I
in the
was
crates.
like, we are part of. I mean, for us, we consider ourselves old Morgan. You know what I'm saying? Anything that predates 2014, really, pretty much. But I was
Yeah.
like, what is this music group? What is this? What's this page that just followed me? Who are these niggas?
Yep.
These is a bunch of rapping, singing ass dudes, or men and
Yep.
women. Actually, it was a whole. It
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
bunch
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember. And but going back to Morgan for a second, I think it just kind of relates. Your major, that wasn't even your major in college. Your major was what? Broadcast integrated media when we met. So I was like,
Yeah.
so what were you pursuing at that time? Because like you said, you didn't, initially it wasn't music, but what were you doing at that time?
So I'm glad you brought that up because so here's the funny thing. Like
Hmm.
I said, singing came about because it was like a musical theater expand, like I said, broaden your resume situation.
Mm.
I got there and I was technically on the theater track. I was on musical theater track when I first got to Morgan,
Okay.
right? I didn't go to none of them classes. I immediately said no because musical theater was not my thing at that particular time. Like as
Mm.
I've grown more, I'm open to a lot more things artistically now than I was at that time.
Mm.
But I remember seeing schoolmates, different people coming up and be like, "Yo, they called your class today. They called your name on the roster in music." And I'm in the comm building. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Until it gets changed, I ain't got nothing to do with that. And I changed my major immediately because I was like,
Mm.
I was, the practicality and all of the other things we think about when you're in college. It's like it sounds crazy, but like college is a place where yeah, you can have dreams, but you're also thinking about it from like the okay, what's going to be the checks and balances, what's going to be what puts
Right.
food on the table, and
Yep.
I got to come out of here with something that's going to be substantial. So I was like communications immediately. I've been working with all types of radio equipment and everything for so long. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there and see what I can make do with that. Y'all can sing and dance. I'm gonna work on that on my own, and I'll holler at y'all when I see y'all. So that was funny. I was technically a musical, I think music theater or theater major at the beginning, but I immediately went right into communications.
That's crazy. You were too good to, do boom cack and do some choreo real quick
You
with the
know
singing.
what though? It's funny because now
Mhm.
I'm so eager to do like choreo and stuff like that
Yeah.
because I was also I've always been a dancing kid. Like my mother, so my father's singer, my mother is, and I have to do this right. You got me in a Denzel Washington. What's his son's name? Kind of
John
moment.
David. John
Right, you
David.
got me in a
Yeah.
John David moment right now because I remember the interview. They asked him about what it's like to be his father's son. He was like, "I got to give credit to my mother. She held my father down when he ain't had a dime, and she's an accomplished pianist. I got to do the same." My mother, and this is a story nobody knows this, so you're getting an exclusive right
Come
now.
on, that's what we get here. Come on. We
Hey,
love
so
exclusives.
my mother is an accomplished ballet dancer from Philadelphia, ballet company, all black, owned. Shout out to Aunt Joan. She's still running it. She's the head of it to this day. Bless
Wow.
her heart. And she was there, and from there she was dancing and teaching and coming through that program. And at the end, both of my parents, I look at them like athletes to an extent because both of them had similar starts. Both of them did a semester of college
Mm.
and took right off into entertainment. my
Mm.
mother my mother had a semester at Temple and then got a call saying, hey, Teddy Pendergrass needs backup dancers, let's go.
Wow.
Just like that.
Mm.
And from there, she traveled the world, and it was just so I gotta shout her out.
Of
But
course.
I haven't said that before ever anywhere. So I had to do that here with you. You know what I mean?
Of
But
course.
so in that I've been a dancing kid because
Mm.
I've always known that was the other thing. So even though I wasn't in the musical theater track, I'd
Hmm.
still go to a lot of the different like ballets they'd have because I just appreciated the art. I'd grown up seeing it, I'd grown up being a part of it, integrated in it. So it's like, oh yeah, first position, second position, releve, grand plie, all these different things. That's like I knew it. So I would go and watch and stuff, but it was just my mind was focused somewhere else. But she also integrated a lot of that. So I was a dancing kid way before anything else, and then everything else followed.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've
Yeah,
known you for this
yeah,
long. I never knew that.
yeah,
Every
yeah,
like I
yeah,
said, it's
yeah,
always
yeah.
been like Calvin can do this, Calvin can do that, Calvin is
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing back in college when somebody was trying
Yep.
to introduce you. I'm like, oh, okay, 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 okay. And then
Right.
like you probably don't know the Manhattans. I'm like, girl, I do. I mean, I'm an old soul. Like, calm down. Um, bro, that is amazing, man. Like, you
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
didn't have any other. I mean, not to say that you had other options, but I
Right.
mean, it was kind of just your path was almost like laid out for you. How do you think about that? Like, how do you process that these days?
You know what? I say it chose I say it chose me, and I don't know
Mm,
if it was laid out for me, but I think it came about in a very interesting way. Like it was always there, but it wasn't like it wasn't my choice. Like it really wasn't. I so my grand scheme when high
mm,
school was well from grade school going into high school was I would love to play ball,
mm,
um go to a D1 school. This was how specific the dream was though, but it was I just at the same time I'm young so I don't know the gravitas of what it took to do this, but my dream was play ball, get into a D1 school, do however many years, get good enough to get drafted and then turn down going to the league to start a company. That was my dream. Very very like I don't know like that was just what it was in my head. And as time went on, because music dance my mother had influenced me with because she was also a dance teacher at my grade school,
mm,
so I was in the class. That was just part of the program.
mm.
But as far as entertainment, singing, blah 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 blah, uh that didn't that my dad, I was at the shows, I'd be meeting all types of, you know what I mean, different artists from different eras,
Right.
and I would be like cool whatever, back to Game Boy. I didn't really care. And then I had friends that I grew up with on my block. We started a band and we started playing instruments, and that's where it started to become more of like oh okay, it's here to stay. Like let's do this. And at the time, again, still not thinking this is where I'm gonna go with what I want to
Right.
choose to do, or this is gonna be one of the careers paths that I choose. But it was still just like, oh yeah, this is what we do as homeboys. We go and jam, and we funny enough, we had a contract with the city.
Hmm. Okay.
We had a contract with the city. We didn't make no crazy money or nothing, but we had like a little contract with our city, and we would get do like gigs in the summer and stuff like that. And it was dope. But again, it was just there, and
Right.
I was not like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Again, once I got to Morgan and I met artists that were like, yeah, I'm booking studio time, and yo, can you do this? That's when it was like, you know what? I've gotten this far. I'm in college. This is supposed to be, the place where the more serious aspect of life starts to develop, and people are still pursuing this. It kind of legitimized for me. Oh, okay, this isn't just a like a dream or like something out there that's outlandish. It was like, no, this is tangible and real. Go for it. So yeah, it chose me in the long run.
Going back to what you were saying about merit, I think this kind of leads into where I want this discussion to go. You know, you, you wanted to make your own name, build your own like everything, not like in spite of, but just to say, hey, this is me. I earned my place here. Tell us a little bit more about your journey as an independent artist, because I know you've gone through a lot. Like, and I know a lot of people don't understand what being an independent artist is, right? Like, they don't know what goes into it. They don't understand any, like, yeah, any of the processes and the challenges, the successes, but also the challenges. So, let's start with just getting into it. Like, all right, I want to do this. This is where I'm at.
Yeah, so that was when I got with the collective at Morgan, right? So I'm like, I
Mm,
want to do this. I'm going to take this a little more serious. And I mean, I have earlier stories that were also learning experiences, but these were before these things happened before I was making the choice to pursue it. So at and when I got to Morgan and I made the choice, like, okay, cool. It was learning. One, it was realizing there. I I'm glad it's taken so long because there were small things like I remember my first project ever. I released it on Dat Piff, right? And I was getting it mixed and mastered. Somebody was supposed to do this for me, and just logistically, I I'm supposed to have it mixed and mastered. I go to get it mixed and mastered. I think the guy finished it, and I hit. I'm on spring break. I hit upload,
Mhm.
and it's on Dat Piff, and you could go find it now. There was dead air on like two or three of my tracks.
Oh my goodness.
It was like, and I'm sitting there like this motherfucker.
He went to Morgan? He was at Morgan at the time?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Fair Morgan, we
yeah.
love D. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But in all, I mean, like, I don't want to put him out there like that because he's still
Yeah.
pursuing music too. He's still, and
Okay.
he's actually really accomplished. We have similar backgrounds as well. So he has a father as well that's from that era and a
Okay.
part of like the 70s, 80s kind of disco era of music. So I don't wanna
Hey man,
tarnish what he's doing.
we all had to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We all had to
But that
start
was
somewhere.
but that
So
was
yeah.
that's exactly it. That was the learning curve because he
Right.
was mixing and mastering and I don't think he even realized he didn't finish, you know what I mean? So then I that was like my first mistake and just learning. And then the next was financing my first project myself years later at Morgan. And I learned about I did the whole thing myself in terms of financing it, but I realized I had a great concept, but I didn't sit with the material. Right. Like, and these are all the steps that if you're not with a label, nobody's gonna A&R it for you. So
Mm,
the second project I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. I have a concept. These are the songs. This is what we're gonna do. And I never sat back and listened to all the records and was like, okay, but is this the best quality? Is this song the song? Should you go back and do another one and see? I was just, hey, quality control. I don't know what that is. We just doing what's in my head and we're gonna go. And so that project, when I released that, I sat with it and I learned, I basically learned, oh, okay, you could have let this marinate a little bit longer. You could have got a little more input. You could have gotten more opinions instead of doing it all on your own.
mm,
Um, and then along the way as well, which has been one of the few benefits of being the person that I am and being in the position that I'm in is that business wise, I haven't had to worry about too much as far as um being cheated or having things stolen from me because I was up close enough to see it. So I know what's supposed to happen and what not supposed to happen as far as payment, as far as how shows are supposed to be ran. Like some of those things were a benefit just having that knowledge. But yeah, it's still been a journey because even now with streaming and how everything's going, it's like, yeah, we gotta work on these live shows because they paying us pennies on the dollar and
mm,
figuring out how to even market your material through different distribution networks that may be independent of a Spotify or Apple or to be able to monetize in a way that's like substantive. So it's a lot over the years of learning, trial and error. Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's
It's
get
been
back.
it's been a lot.
Well, no, like let's get back to that. For example, marketing. How do you market yourself, especially in the streaming era? And like you just kind of touched on it with all the challenges that come with that.
Now, oh man, I've learned one to start develop a team and two, as much as I don't like it, but this actually kind of ties into what we were talking about right before we started,
Mm,
which is learning one to work across, not always up, and
mm,
community. That those are some of the ways to help market yourself is community and working across. And I hate it, but it's also unfortunately the social media game.
Mm.
right? Like you have to be present. And I'm from a time, I think we both are, excuse me, where we're used to seeing people advertise their music and disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They say, "Hey, the album is here, blah 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 blah," and then it's like focus on that. Now, in this day and age, it's like they want you, and it's like I don't really. That's not what I'm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's also making peace with the fact that you have to have that presence online, and be not necessarily vulnerable, but be present frequently, consistently, showing your face. And what I was saying we were getting at before we started is like someone like a Duran Bernard, right? There are a lot of people. I think I saw somebody on Thread saying, I've seen Duran Bernard all over the internet. I need to tap into his music. And this was with his most recent project that dropped. Somebody said that. And I was like, that's interesting, but it's good because it shows that building that community and being in different places and having your face pop up everywhere, people are always aware of what you're doing. So at some point they're going to check in, but marketing yourself is about being present and showing your face as much as possible, doing the things that because now he's doing comedy. He's doing stand up.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Something different, but the point is to be open to putting yourself in a lot of different spaces, just to get yourself out there. So, like I said before, I wasn't a musical theater kid, or I wasn't, but now I'm open to a lot more things because it's like, hey, I'm 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 pretty well versed in a couple of these different mediums. Why not try to get out into those? I've done film now. I'm technically an actor. Shout out to the Morgan alum that allowed me to be in some films. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've learned that that's a part of it as well. You have to be
Yeah.
open to that, and again, really building community. You build a community that's going to hold you up when you are dropping new music, when you are trying to do something different, because they are going to be that support system that helps reverberate things throughout social media and vice versa. So it's a combination of things, but all of them have been a part of marketing now.
When you're out here marketing and you're out here just trying to put yourself out there and you're stepping into different things, you know, how supportive has your community been for you throughout this continuing journey?
It's been interesting because it started out very small, and you also, so in building a community, right? Sometimes you think that's going to always be just the friends or the close-knit friends, but like I'm in a space now where I'm really building a community, in participating in a community rather, that is full of a lot of other artists like myself who are all trying to head in a certain direction. And prior to, it was always that you thought it was just the small friends and you thought that would be what would work. And then you have the realization that's only going to take you but so far.
Right.
There's everybody and their mother has got something to put in front of your face or on your timeline. So now you have to go broader. You have to do more. And in doing that, I started to participate in communities now. So like there's an event I'm sure you've seen clips of me, called Live in the Garden, where we've had a slew of artists from American Idol. We have one of our hosts, Leah Janae, who was on the Four. Um, we have Said Marsh, who played. He's a drummer but also a singer. Really dope, by the way. Both of them are. But he's what I believe Grammy nominated, and he was Patti LaBelle's drummer.
Mm,
Right.
okay.
So we've built like
Come on,
I've
Patty.
been right, it's just building a community with different artists and us learning to support each other as well. So that's been part of the journey now, and how basically I've been learning to market, and in that the support from that community has been so much bigger than what it was when it was just you depend on friends or family or what have you, because they also get it. That community now is not just a community of people outside looking in. There are people that know what goes into this. I did a show recently here, and the outpour was like, "Oh wow, shit! I need to do this more often now. Like
Yeah.
I need to, you know what I mean? Like okay, there's a presence here now." As where in the past it's like between, oh, between that and as another pitfall to go with the list of before is also the pay to play shows. People
Mm,
love to put a price tag on your dream, and they try to like just rob you for it. So as an artist, you also have a lot of times these different companies that'll say, oh yeah, if you buy tickets from us and sell this and do that,
mm,
you can get a portion of the proceeds, and we'll make sure it's a guaranteed audience. And that kind of stuff, when you're first starting out, you buy into it, you think it's real, you're like, okay. But now I'm at a space where, and that's another thing I've learned, if you're coming to me, you're supposed to have an audience. That's what 106 and Park was. That's what MTV, TRL, that whole situation, those were platforms that were telling you, hey, come perform your music here, we have an audience already. A lot of
right.
times now people try to do that, but they do it with a, oh, but you got to pay me, either by buying tickets from me or being a street team, a quote unquote street team member on your behalf. Go sell tickets for this event that we're supposed to already have a built-in audience for.
Oh hell
And
no.
so you see what I'm saying? And it's like it's one thing for me to obviously promote a show I'm doing, of
Right.
course, but it's a different thing when you turn me into your employee instead of a collaborating entity. You're supposed to be the platform, I'm supposed to be the talent or the artist. We're supposed to be doing this as a collaborative effort, and instead you're trying to get me to pay you to do my shit. So beautiful thing is in having that and learning why that's BS. Again, the community aspect, growing with this community here, and reaching all these different heights and meeting all these different artists. Now it's the reception is different. The opportunities that come along are different. We got um one of the other hosts at Live in the Garden. Shout out to Aaron. He's I think either still touring or just finished touring with El Mean.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we,
No, I mean,
it's
it's really fire right now.
right. So it's just like I love seeing these artists in the community now. We're watching people get to do things, and it becomes a bigger, broader network. It becomes a bigger, broader space for everybody to hopefully be able to learn or network or say, okay, well, who did you talk to about this? And blah, 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 blah. And oh, maybe we should do this together and work on this together. And oh, maybe we should do a show together, all of that. So it's been a process, but I love the reception now because I'm in a community where people get it, and people are willing to also put forth the effort to support in the same way you want to be supported. So
No, that's very important. I'm learning that right now as I'm on this journey. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't depend on my friends or all the time or only to promote what I'm
yeah,
doing and whatever else. I'm like, it's nice, it's cool, but I saw this post from Woody McClain, that's the actor, for folks who don't know, and he
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like, man, nobody owes you shit. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is the thing that'll save you. And like just kind of going back to the friends thing, like I don't want to turn my friends into my street team. And like, just because we're friends doesn't mean you automatically owe me these things. It's like, oh, that would be nice for you to retweet
Right.
or repost or reshare. Hint, hint for those of you bitches that's watching. But no, and listening, but no. But in all serious,
No,
but in all,
no, because that's a real feeling. I'm not gonna
you know
lie,
what I'm
it still
saying?
stings. It still
But
stings.
but in all seriousness, though, it's on us to be consistent and to not
Yeah.
make them PR for us. So I love what you were just saying about building out your community with these artists, building across. What are some big opportunities that you have gotten? You talk about everyone else, but like, what are some opportunities that you've gotten by building across?
So me now, building across for me has turned into me hosting different events now. And I wasn't hosting anything before. So now I'm hosting an event called the G Night Atmos Experience, where it's a platform for artists. This is now something that I've had the pleasure of doing. And it was just somebody approached me and said, hey man, do you mind hosting this one time? We need somebody. And then after that, when it was like, you know what, can you come back and do this more often?
Mhm.
And for, I don't, well, the bottom line is it's turned into an opportunity for me to again pivot in another avenue. So now that's something else on the resume. It's just, oh, you don't just sing or cut hair or whatever. Oh, now you also host. Right. So now someone may say, hey, can you host this event? Can you do that?
Yeah.
So it's been continuing to broaden, and I've enjoyed it so far. It's
You
just
know, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say was, man, I was going to give you like a compliment. I've noticed, you know, we don't. I mean, we really much. I think pretty much we talk damn near every day through voice notes, through our group chat. Shout out to our girl
Yep.
Kendra. I
Okay,
don't know.
that.
Yes, I don't know. If we should say our group chat name
No,
on
not,
there.
not,
All right,
not.
cool. Then we're
Mm-mm.
not. But this is something that like we've been doing for a minute. Like I said, we talk every day. We share reels
Yep.
about what's going on in the world, etc. But social media has also allowed me and just talk with you personally, just to see the growth. Oh my god, just see the growth
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
you, bro. Like what you've been doing. Like I've definitely noticed a change in a great way. So I got to take a moment to give you your
I
flowers because
appreciate that.
I
I
mean, man,
appreciate
like you
that.
said, now you're hosting
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
know hosting space for other artists now. And even
Mhm.
here right now on this platform, you're sharing tips about what I've been through, what you should be mindful of. But I mean, let's kind of pivot for a second. What is something that for people who are watching this, people who are looking up to C.A.L, they're like, yo, I need to. I mean, I want to like get into this field. What should I know?
Um, the main thing is and it's funny because it's still something I think about often, but one of the main things now is you've got to work on your craft, but more importantly, you've got to work on your live show.
Mm,
That's like when you because we're in an era now because everything is so saturated, right? I've been in rooms where you got the artist that has 30,000 followers.
mm,
Stage presence is ass water. Can't do a thing. And I don't say that as to be arrogant. I'm saying it
right.
as an objective observation. I'm
Yeah.
watching you perform and I'm watching you engage with the crowd, and the crowd is kind of like,
Mm.
okay. But when we go
I did
online,
FBA, girl. Hmm.
it looks amazing online. You got the right clips, you got everything chopped up and edited, and it looks good. But I was at the show. It won't like that. So my biggest takeaway when it comes to that is if you've been developing your craft and you've worked on your voice or you worked on your breath control as a rapper, the next thing is developing a good set. That is what makes people want to book you at other gigs anyway. Nobody's gonna like if you don't have a good show and you don't make material that you can perform live,
Hmm.
it nobody cares. Nobody cares. And that's just one of the harsh things about being in music. But I learned it funny enough from the clubhouse days, right? During COVID, right?
Woo! Heavy
Right.
hitters on the
Wild time.
stage.
Right. I
Heavy
got the
hitters in
green
the
bean. I
room.
got the green bean. I got the green bean. I'm the moderator. I get to talk first. Oh my God. They y'all ruined that app. I'm gonna say that.
Hey, Cal, I just appreciate you for bringing me up on the stage, my brother. Let's build, let's work, let's connect. You feel me? I'm also an artist out here in Baltimore. You feel me? This is what I do. Lock in with me, dummy. Yeah, all that, all that, all that.
Not locking with me, dummy. That's
That's my
crazy.
that's my straight voice for the girls. Happy Pride Month. Continue.
Is that
Clubhouse.
wait? Is that trade? Is that what that is?
This is not about to turn to Saucy and Cam Newton. Please continue. I'm not educating nobody today. Continue with Clubhouse, brother. Let's pick back.
Right. Club. No, but see, we was gonna cut up. I knew it. It was gonna happen.
I already knew it. I already
You
knew
knew
when
it.
when I asked you. I said, "Hey, man, come on
Yep.
the Pride." Yeah.
Right. He said, "Well, it's gonna be one of them episodes." Oh man, but so they were at the time. I would say at one of the more pure aspects of Clubhouse, there were some really great gems in there because one of the things that was great about that app before it got infected was that there was it was an egoless space,
Mm,
right? So there were Morgan alum. I'll give an example real quick of what I mean by egoless space. There were Morgan alum that were working on. They had a clubhouse space at the time that was about filmmaking.
mm.
And of all people, guess who comes into the audience? Ava DuVernay.
Ah.
It was ran by Morgan alum. They're talking about different things and working in TV and film. And she just hops in, sits in the audience, and they notice. And after they got done kind of executing their points, they invited her up. She said, I don't have much to say. I just wanted to come in and say, I love what you guys are doing. Gave her a few tidbits or pointers here and there and pieced out. And it was so dope. So we got those same things in music. And there were times where you'd be in a room and they, artists come play your music, and some artists were getting upset because of how quickly different execs would be like, nah, that ain't it. But the
Right.
thing is, which goes back to what we were talking about initially, is unfortunately music is something that like you got to catch people. It's not a no, wait till the bridge, wait till the chorus. You've lost them. So when it comes to a live performance, like I was saying before,
Yeah.
we not waiting. Like you got to come out the gate with a solid set. You got to come out being able to do something. And nobody's perfect. I'm not here saying I'm the perfect performer, but that's something that I've picked up and learned is you have to come out with a strong set, because in this day and age, you, like I said, you got the people that have the followers, but if that doesn't translate to the real world, you're wasting your time. You're
So how
wasting
have
your time.
absolutely. So how have you developed your set now? Like knowing all these things, what's your process?
Now it's so you one, it's finding standards, records that may not be your own. If you're a singer, you might want to do some covers that are really well known. And an example of like different covers. So I do on my last project, Rebirth and Revelations, I do a medley of Can We Talk and Nice and Slow by
Mhm.
Usher. Every time I do that, people love it because they're not
I,
expecting it.
I'm a fan. When I heard it, when I first heard it, I was like, "Yep." I said, "This is the one right here."
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's that always gets people hooked on like, oh, okay, I wasn't, what's this guy doing? Now they're interested and now they're willing to stay for whatever else I have to present. And even to highlight said, who I mentioned before,
Yeah.
he has this crazy rendition of Superstitious, right? Because he's a drummer. I didn't think Stevie Wonder's stuff could have an arrangement that like somebody could do a different arrangement of Stevie that would make me go, yeah, I like that version too. But that's also a part of it is even finding standards and putting your own twist on it.
Mm.
Finding different records that you can put an arrangement to that people are going to be engaging with. That's really the big one of the big parts. And then also you wanna develop a set that shows off your skills.
Mm.
So the one of the things I did with my last project with Rebirth and Revelations, a lot of those songs were records that I wanted to perform to be able to show off different aspects of my voice and of my rapping ability for people in different spaces. So I put together a set where it's like, okay, you want to hear me sing some stuff, you want to hear me do some falsetto, you want to hear me kind of get into chest voice, and then you want to hear me kind of lace together some bars, you want to hear some punchlines. Here are these records now that I have that when I'm saying, oh no, I do this, there's a body of work that I can present in front of you in real time that you go, oh no, he was right there, he was really rapping. That was crazy. Oh no, that song he killed when he did that. That was his best. Yeah. That's what I've come to realize, and that's how I've learned to kind of set up a set now. It's like, okay, what's gonna get the crowd? What's gonna show them my best, skills and attributes, and then how do I get out of there?
Mm.
That's it.
Let's talk real quick, because you kind of brought this up earlier. Like,
Mhm.
not gonna be able to catch everyone's attention right away, or you don't have that much time for it. It's almost like how we approach social media and marketing. Going back to that, for example. But I remembered. I want you to talk about this experience because you had us waiting a few hours or so when you were supposed to be doing something. What's on social? You were trying to get your music up to Timberland on social. You remember that?
Ah, ah,
Yeah. Do you remember? Yeah.
ah.
I you were in the group chat like, yo, like, hey, yo, everybody, I'm gonna be doing this. Y'all tapping around this time. And look, I sat there. I was there.
Right,
I had the phone.
right,
I was like, okay, okay,
right.
okay. Sitting through all these, no shade to those people. I was like, okay, some of these motherfuckers are horrible. Timberland ain't got no good ears. What's going on? And then we was waiting on Cal. And if
Right.
Cal got up there,
Hmm.
Cal's music got up there. You played it for him or whatever.
Hmm.
Just walk us through that experience, and to tell that story for people who don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, Timbaland was running, and I think he still does it. He basically has different artists come up and he would give feedback from different perspectives. And this was around the time This was after Rebirth and Revelation. So
Hmm.
I wanted to play something for him off of that, just kind of to gauge where we were. Because I, again, important, like I said, one of the things as well is having a team, right? Building community, having a team. So I talked to one of the guys on my team about, well, okay, well, what record should we play for him? Should we do this one, do that one? And okay, we should go with this. This is the single off the album that you were pushing. Let's let him hear this and see where it goes. And it was a learning experience. It was actually, um let me see, it was fun and it was enlightening, and there were parts of it that I had to you have to dismiss because it's still a show. But I love the fact that he was like, one, I like your tone, I like what you're
Yeah.
doing. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I think, as he would say, I'm gonna put you on that bench. That's like his catchphrase or whatever. But basically what he meant by that was, oh, like you're somebody I would put in the game. You're somebody I want to actually do this. He said, just keep working at it and keep hammering away at making music. So he was the bottom line. What I took away from what he was saying at that time was just, it sounds like you're still in the budding stages. And to be honest, even though I've been doing this at that point for a long period of time, I look again to Duran Bernard's story a lot of times. I think uh, people were very excited with his first Grammy win this past year, and
I was. Yeah.
right, no, man, because to me he represents a lot of the independent artists in that regard, right? Just breaking through like that, no big machine behind him, just being personable, being present, and being talented. Because again, if you ever see, I haven't seen him live, but I've seen recordings of his live shows. That's what I mean by you need to have a good live set, just as a sidebar. That's what I mean. He's one of those artists that presents a live set very well. But I caught one of his lives and he was saying, I've been singing back up for Erica Badu for 20 years. Year 19, I got my first Grammy nomination. Year 20 was the first Grammy I won. So there's still, and that was, so when I did the live with Timberland, it was, at first it was kind of like, well, I've been doing this for a minute, but you like what I'm doing. So, okay, he ain't trying to play me like that. Okay, so what am I missing? And then it was like, oh, there's some aspects of this that you still have to hammer away at. You got to put a little more time in. And it was like, okay, cool. So there are still more things I have to learn. Fine, I'm okay with that. And as
Mm.
I'm developing the new project now, I'm excited because I'm thinking about it from what I learned from that live, what I've learned, even just the things about having a set and what songs to perform and how to be able to pull a crowd in. So I'm collaborating with some dope people. So I this time around as well, which is something else he mentioned, which is he was saying, you sound like you wrote everything by yourself. And this time around in regards to R&B, I'm collaborating with different artists, so I'm excited for that. This is the first time I've collaborated with different songwriters for
Mm.
R&B, so I'm like, ooh, this is going to be fun. Other people are coming in and saying, let's try this, let's push you to do that, let's maybe
Mm.
write this like this, and I'm like, okay, it's cool to have other cooks in the kitchen from time to time, you so that way somebody can offer up a different perspective. So
Right.
I that's where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at with this, but I'm excited for that. I'm excited for all of that.
Yes. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about it. I mean, like, what can we expect? Yeah. What can we expect from your new project?
Um, this time around, I would say, what can we expect? I definitely think there's going to be some different sounds. Like it's still going to be familiar to us as Black folk, but it's going to be new to me just as an artist.
Right.
So I wanted to try some new things, some more up tempo things, and I'm excited to see what we produce. And again, just cranking out a lot of different sounds, experimenting with either like there's a track we're doing now that has like this real 80s kind of like sound to it. And it's just like, I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but I'm interested to see what it evolves into. I'm really getting in this bag now of different tastes, different things. I don't have to just do let's do the trap drums and the R&B and let's do the same traditional hip hop. It's like we can make our, now what I would say is to put it like this. I'm in the process now of developing a more me specific sound.
Come on, me specific. Okay.
Yeah, me specific, right? Like it's centered around me. I'm not so much chasing other people or trying to sound like other people, or just attempting to recreate a sound to see if I can do it. I'm now in the space of, okay, well, what would I like to do? Fully me, not concerned with other people's sound. Like what do I want to do? What do I want to experiment with? What am I uncomfortable to try, but I may sound good doing? That's where, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of a lot of different, maybe genre bending, different tempos, yeah, and even just being more emotionally vulnerable too.
Mm.
So a lot more emotional vulnerability.
Okay, okay. And then I think maybe just a couple more questions for you, brother. Like, your state on your take on the state of the industry right now. I mean, yeah, music is something. We got AI coming in. Like, I know Timbaland kind of did something really, really big with it with this AI, this fake AI
Yeah,
signing and of an artist. And I'm just like, are we dead ass? And I know we had a lot of things to say about that offline
yeah,
um
yeah,
in
yeah,
our
yeah.
chat, but not to just focus on that necessarily, but nowadays when we're hearing things, we're like, yo, is this even real? Is this AI? Because as you and I both know, as we talk about, we're gonna die. AI's killing us. In the wrong hands. In the wrong hands. You know what I'm saying? We not at
In the
our
wrong
robot
hand,
stage yet.
right? But we
We're not
getting
at
close,
Skynet. You're getting close though. We're getting
getting
close.
close.
But
The
with
robots, John. It's the
exact
fucking
see,
robots, John.
I want
Like,
to quote it.
yeah,
I want to quote it. But the goddamn
it's
robot, John,
the goddamn robots, John. Seriously,
Ah,
man.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
no,
yeah.
sure, talk about the state of the music industry as you see it, and how do you navigate that and still remain authentic to Cal?
So that's part of why I said what I said earlier about having a very good live set. I am, again, being present online is just something that we have to do. It's a
Yeah.
part of the game now. But the reason that I stress being so much more offering when you're in person, when it comes to your shows and your live set, is because I also think there is with the state of the way the music industry is now. um we're seeing a lot of people that are having meteoric rises, but then we see them at different platforms performing and we don't really feel anything. And it's because the machine is trying to squeeze out a dollar. So does the song work to get replayed, or is this a viral hit? Cool. But and this is what again I harp on with a lot of artists is, you don't want a song that only sounds good online, right?
Mm,
Because when it's come time to work with a live band or to play that track and perform it, you have to make music that you can perform.
mm.
That's really what it is. Like, what's the song? The what, a $1 Million Baby? Is that it?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Right. So no disrespect to that artist, but I remember when he performed it live, that was clearly a song that sounded good in the studio. You did your thing, but it wasn't a song I think he anticipated having to be in his falsetto for as long as he did. And
Mm,
because of that, it was like, oh, we make songs all the time, and you got to think about, you're gonna have to do this with live vocals. Is
mm,
this just to show that I'm being objective? Brandy came out and said Full Moon is no longer in her register, right?
yeah.
That's an album that
Which
when she
hurts. That's
did it,
crazy, man. Yeah.
right. When she did it, she said, "Oh, they were pushing me to kind of sing a little bit above, and it was a great challenge." But a part of knowing your instrument is knowing that depending on health, age, all these different factors, your voice may drop in terms of key. So when you have these records, if you're not willing to rearrange them to perform them in a comfortable key live, again, you're messing up yourself in the long run when it's time to present that stuff live. And again, paid gigs are still where we're making most of the money. It's not, again, the streams don't really do it. Unless you're
Mm,
somebody that's already established with a machine behind you and, you're getting a certain amount of monthly listeners a month, that's crazy. The live shows are how you generate that as well. The live shows are where people go, I'm gonna go stream that because they killed that performance. I want to go back now. So that's a part of that, and that's how I view it as far as the industry. I think that yes, be online, be present, market yourself, do have the quirky ideas. Don't overcomplicate it online as well with the content, but have that strong in-person show. That
Mm,
is what's going to ultimately solidify you in real life because this stuff, like you said, it's fleeting, it's up and
yeah,
down. You gotta the only thing left is flesh and blood. That's what
yeah.
still gets that connection with the audience and makes them say, where can I find you?
Well, Cal, where can everybody find you, my brother? Tell the people where they
That
can.
was good. I saw what you did there. That's what you
I
did there.
mean,
You know,
I just have a degree in this. I don't
the
know.
boy is good. He's good. Y'all need to understand. You're seeing greatness here. He's phenomenal. Okay. So you can follow me on all social media at the official Cal Music. That is all one word. The official CALMUSIC. The official Cal Music. But yeah, you can follow me there for shows. If you want to even come out to the jams that I'm either hosting or well, not hosting, either I'm attending, or if you want to come out to the Geni Atmos experience and see me host and see some of these amazing artists that are making their way and as they say in the old day, making their bones. Please follow, engage, because I'm going to eventually start taking you guys on the journey of this next album. So I'm going to start having clips of what's coming and how we worked on it and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. And again, that's the official Cal Music on all social media. Hope to see you guys.
Oh my God, Kyle, thank you again for joining us, brother. We appreciate you. Y'all go make sure you follow him on Instagram, on all his socials at the official Cal Music and support him in his music journey as he's about to take us through the journey of his new album. I'm trying to see what this new album is about to be like. I want the exclusive. So Cal will be coming back. You heard it here first. Listen, homies, before I let y'all go, there's a few things I want to go over. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every last one of you who have been supporting us through our Black Music Month Challenge, right? On Instagram. We've been doing this. It's our first year, and y'all been rocking with us for the last 30 days with likes, shares, and reposts, and so much more. And that support does not go unnoticed. It's our first year, like I said, doing this, and we're going to continue it again next year. But in the meantime, if you want more engagement or you have an idea and you want to share it, share it. We want to hear it. We want to use it. We want to bring you in. And as far as more episodes, like I said earlier, it's been a while since our last check-in, and I think it's finally time to announce that we will be switching to a weekly format for the pod. A weekly format, yes. Meaning you're going to get an episode or something from me once a week in this form, right? In this fashion. Whether I'm just sitting here talking trash or I'm sitting here going over some topics that you want to hear or some questions, some voicemails, whatever that you want to hear and you want to talk about, I'm here and we're going to go over it. So every week you'll be getting something from me because, again, consistency. It's key. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, for those of you who are watching, you saw what I did. So look, more on all of that and more next week. But until then, be sure to follow us on socials at Homeboy Hotline Pod and make sure to check out the YouTube page with the same name, Homeboy Hotline Pod, Pod. For those of you who are listening on Apple and Spotify, make sure you join us over on YouTube. And always remember to keep your joy loud and your playlist louder. Take care.